Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elect apostle, bishops, elders at Great Millstone, at Ruel. Shalom to elect Akia, the who's working sincerity and truth, and not for vainglory in season, out of season. Yeah, I just want to bring the scripture out right quick. This is book of Ecclesiastes. Excuse me. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus. Okay, the book of Sirach, the 11th chapter, and I'll go to the 26th verse. Okay. No, the 27th verse. It says, it's a lot. It says, let me see. Right. The 27th verse. Okay, the book of Sirach, the 11th chapter, and the 27th verse. Okay. It says, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deed shall be discovered. So it says, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure. You know, you have these dudes, you know, you have General Nathaniel Alaga, you know, Bishop Nathaniel, you know, he's living in pleasure right now. You know, why? Because he's exalting himself. You know, he has all that money. You know, he has a large following. Okay, when we know that it's about a remnant. Okay, it's about an elect. It's not about having a large following. Okay, you know, he's living good, man. You know, believe me, he's not worried about where his next meal is gonna come from. You know, you see them super duper garments he got. You know what I'm saying? You know, because he wants to exalt himself. It was, I think, what they make, what, about 100 million a year, 150 million a year. You know, so he's living good. You know, you have, we believe that he sold out to the wicked elite. Okay, all right, the international banking small hat families. Okay, you have General Yohana doing good. Okay, all right, you know, exalting himself. He's the commanding general and all that. That's exalting yourself, you know. You know, where in the scriptures does it speak about a commanding general? You know, and others, you know, and even, you know, even these pulpit preachers out here, you know, that have the $1 million churches. You know, they're living in pleasure. Okay, but guess what? Affliction is coming. Okay, affliction is coming. Trouble is coming. Let's go to Jeremiah 30th chapter and the 7th verse. I know I gotta back over. Hopefully, okay. Salakia. Jeremiah 30th chapter and the 7th verse. Okay. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Now, you know, Jacob's trouble is about to be fully upon us. Who's Jacob? Jacob represents you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, we know there's a famine is gonna come. Okay, of food, the lack of food. We know, uh, you know, these deadly diseases is gonna be out here, which are these pestilences. We know cannibalism is gonna take place. The wicked elite, they're gonna roll on the men of the Lord. Okay, some of us are gonna be put in concentration camps and be delivered up out of there. Okay, and some of us are gonna be beheaded in those concentration camps. Family members are gonna turn against you. Family members are gonna be put to death. It's gonna be a lot of great death out here, man. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of sorrow. Okay, all right, So the wicked elite, they're going to move on the men of the Lord. They're going to change society. There's going to be trouble for Jacob. The RFID chip is going to be put into being made mandatory, which is the mark of the beast. So we're going to be homeless. Okay. So there's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. Now, if you live in pleasure, right? Like Nate, General Nathaniel Alaga. I mean, yeah. He's a general now. And others who have sold out. Guess what? You're gonna forget all about that. All that pleasure. The scriptures say it's better to go to the house of. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, that's Ecclesiastes 7 chapter and the 2nd verse. Okay. Ecclesiastes 7 chapter and the 2nd verse. All right. It says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." So that's why here at Great Millstone, starting with the Apostle on down, we're not in this spirit of feasting. Okay. All right. Living in pleasures. Okay. Having a whole lot of money. Not that you can't have money, but I mean rich. Millions of dollars. We're not into that, man. Having a whole bunch of women. Not saying that you can't have a woman, but we're not into having a whole bunch of women and all that. And dressing in the fanciest garments and living good and exalting ourselves, and you know what I'm saying? All that shit is just going to the house of feasting. We're in the house of mourning. Because why? Because we're catching hell. We ain't rich at Great Millstone. Neither do we seek riches. The riches we seek is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Oh, the riches of Yahweh, saying it verbatim. Okay? All right? We're not into wearing the fanciest garments and all that kind of stuff like that, man. Having a super large following, being exalted, being praised. Okay? All right? It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Exactly. Why? Because all hell's about to break loose, man. All hell's about to break loose. And all that pleasure, that they got, being praised by their congregation and wearing the super fancy garments and you're this, you're that, and you're general, and you're this, and you're that. Hey, man, they're going to forget about all that when the time of Jacob's trouble comes. Okay? So let's go back to it. Okay? Let's go back to the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 11th chapter, and 12th verse. All right. Salakia, brothers. Ecclesiastes, 11th chapter. I think. It's the, yep, Ecclesiasticus, the 11th chapter and the 27th verse. Okay. For it says, Salakia, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure. Yeah, man. All hell's about to break loose. You know, and that's with anybody, man. You start catching that hell, man, you ain't remember all the pleasures that you're going to, that you had, all the pleasurable things that you were doing, but right now, Jacob's trouble is about to go down. All hell's about to break loose out here. Okay, with the prophecies that's going to be fulfilled, making that RFID chip mandatory. Okay? All right? So I hope you've been edified, and with that, shalom.